And welcome back, guys. This is episode 7. We are starting off here at our copper production. I'm not gonna grow the copper production yet. We're not gonna make any real big changes. I'm just gonna upgrade the conveyor belts and add a lot more storage. That way it can keep producing, and I'm gonna need a lot more of this stuff anyways. The wire and the cable and copper sheet, so I just want to have a lot, and while we're building everything, it can keep producing. So that's all we're doing here real quick. We have all of our materials for the expanded power infrastructure. Let's smash that.
Milestone reached. After several pioneers started exhibiting traumatic responses to power blackouts, Fixit developed mitigation tools recommended by your local therapist. Power storages can hold excess power to delay or prevent blackouts in the eventuality that your factory's power consumption exceeds production. To simplify, these are rechargeable batteries. Power towers carry power lines for significantly greater distances than poles, facilitating factory expansion and exploitation of this environment for the good of Fixit and humanity.
I'm gonna be messing around with the power a lot today. I want to have these available as a backup just in case we need them. So I don't want them using up their energy, so that's why we're disconnecting them. We're gonna check our production over here and gather up some of the supplies. I also want to upgrade the concrete production, so we're going to make this into a Mark II, upgrade the conveyor belts, and that's it for this right here. I just want to make a little more. It's been going pretty slow. We're gonna need a bunch of concrete, so let's stack that up. This is our big goal today. More power. We are gonna double the amount of generators we have over there. To do that, we're gonna need 3 more water extractors. And so that I don't have any issues with flow, we're gonna build a water tower. We're gonna build it back here behind the lake because that's already the highest spot nearby, so we don't have to make that many pipes. Of course I could put it on top of that cliff over there, but right here is fine. I want it to be kind of compact, everything's all together. Hey, Mr. Moth Ray. It's a beautiful day to be flying around. Yeah, so we're gonna build this right here. As we've been doing, we're gonna keep building everything using the world grid. Just gonna put a bunch of random ones down right now. I'm not sure where we're going to build it, so that's why I'm just putting them down all over the place, kind of get an idea of what looks good. Of course, I didn't bring the copper sheet. Let's go get some. Ooh, I noticed that the copper wasn't flowing fast enough here. Might as well upgrade all the conveyor belts. And while we're here, it looks like I have all the supplies for the hyper tubes. So let's smash that.
Milestone reached. By adding hypertube entrances at both ends of hypertubes, pioneers can achieve two-way travel between locations. They are also error% safer than jump pads. You dreamed of moving across factories like valued resources, such as rocks and water, and Fix-It listened to your dreams. We watched them. We took extensive notes. Hypertubes. Because Fix-It makes pioneers' closely monitored dreams come true.
The water tower, we need it to be 2 separate pipes, because currently the level 1 pipe that I have can only carry 300 something, so we need 2. We need 600. We need the availability of 600, so we're gonna have to make it be 2 pipes minimum. I want a bunch of fluid buffers because I don't want to have to use the biomass generators to give the coal generators a kickstart. I want it to just be able to go. And because of that, I have to have water available and ready. I have to have coal available and ready. And that's what this is going to be. Having the water available. And then we will build just a bigger storage where the coal is coming in on the conveyor belts. Alright, let's get some building done. Right about now, I feel fairly ready to build the water extractors. That's why I'm deleting these power cables, because I want to reduce the load off of the coal generators. Thinking back, I probably could have waited a little longer. I didn't really have to do it right now, but I felt like I needed to get it done. Also, I want to buy the other management stuff for the pipes so that I can hang them on the wall. That'll help me with this whole water tower build thing.
As Fix-It amply demonstrates, you can never have too much management.
I haven't been in here in a while. Let's take a look. Got a bunch of plants added in here. Are those random names or are those developer names? I tried this little game that they have on here. It's not that fun. Vote for Satisfactory. I think this little poster's pretty funny. And look, we're working on fluid dynamic stuff right now. Right, well, let's get back to the water extractors and water tower build. tower is coming along very nicely. I always have a really hard time thinking about the placing of all of this stuff, because I want it to look good, but it's hard when you're, well, I want it to work. I want to see it work. That's a big part of the building, and it's very satisfying. You know, just putting down a machine, turning the power on, and seeing it start working, that already builds the satisfaction a little bit, I feel like. So I want it to work. I want to see it work. Make sure that water's flowing and getting where it needs to go. Like right now, for instance, it's flowing, but it's not reaching high enough. So that second pump up top isn't actually going to do anything ever, because it's not going high enough right here. Thus, I'm going to have to add another pump. But yeah, it's very difficult for me to do a final decision. I want it to look good. I want it to look clean. I don't want to do building architecture, even though those look really cool. I'm not hating on them. They look really good. Some of the builds that I've seen lately on YouTube, they just look so clean and so amazing, you know? They look 100% professionally designed. But I want it to look more like if you've seen pictures of a Lamborghini with the bumper removed, it looks really good. Yes, the bumper's missing, and some people could think that that's not the way it's supposed to look. Sure, but it looks really good. It looks super clean. And it makes me wonder, do the Lamborghini designers and engineers, do they worry about how it looks, or are they just working within the constraints that they have and it just happens to look that way? I'm gonna guess that they do think about the design, because it looks too good for it to just be a coincidence. And eventually, I think through time of playing the game and getting ideas from other people and their builds, I'll be able to make it look more like that, more aesthetically pleasing, while showing the insides of everything, while showing the piping, showing the conveyor belts, all of it. I think I'll be able to make it look really good. Now here, once I added the other pump, I was like, what the heck, why isn't this filling? And then I remembered, oh, I think I'm supposed to attach the pipe, and that was what was wrong. But I checked this multiple times. I didn't show it on here because obviously it's just boring and all I'm doing is checking, but I did check it multiple times, and I was like, what the heck, why isn't it filling up? And then I finally remembered that it was because I needed to attach it. I also skipped over turning off a couple of the generators, the cold generators. I shut them off so that I could add more water extractors, and I could start pumping water up there without affecting the power flow. A lot of this also, it's just part of it, right? It's part of the game. So if you really like building, if you really like designing stuff, this is the game, in my opinion, because you have to start over so many times. Just delete it, change it, make it look different, how you want it to look, over and over again. Eventually I'm going to have to, I don't have to, but I want to eventually make this look better. Delete all of the water extractors, move them, adjust them, maybe fit a couple of extra water extractors for something else in the future. I know that there's better places to build, but I like this area. I think it looks good with all the plants and trees, and that's why I'm still building in this area. It's a really fun game if you really like building and constructing stuff. If you're someone who maybe not in normal life is super organized, but in video games you like to be organized, it works out. And you get to do that over and over again. Take it apart, put it back together, cleaner. And through experience, you just get better and better. Alright, so we are going to continue the pipes. We're going to mimic everything that's on the other side. Trying to make it look symmetrical, look the same. All the wiring and stuff we'll worry about later. Right now, like I said, I just want it to be working, operable. Want it to look... I just want it to work right now. We're also going to temporarily attach these two pipes together so that the other water buffers, or fluid buffers, whatever they're called, so that they can fill up too. Again, it's just temporary. And then we'll delete it and it'll be two separate systems. Then we need to get all this water over to the generators. We're not going to start using them right away, but want to get them over there so that they are ready for use when we do need them. Looks like this is flowing. This is still full, which is what we want. Looking good, looking good. Okay. I wasn't sure here if I wanted to use the stackable pipes or just do two pipes side by side. So to do a little bit of testing, I wanted to see, I always thought that when you use the stackable and with the conveyor belts and with the pipes, they were meant to lock into each other. The first level one with the stackable one. But I don't think that's the case. I think that it's just meant to be stackable on stackable. See this right here? I was trying to get it to lock in, see if it would work, but it doesn't. And when I go and look at it from the side, it's offset. It's not good. I really don't want to be fixing that over and over again. I guess I could have done a blueprint, made them fit perfectly, and then just use the blueprint over and over again. That's doable. That could have been done. Thinking back. But at this time I didn't think about it. So instead, I just decided to use a stackable. Another good thing about using the stackable one by itself is that I wouldn't have to jump over it whenever I'm running by, whenever I'm coming to get something or having to go to the other side of this setup. I can just run underneath it. So because of that, it kind of just works out. Everything is fine. If I had used the other method, I would have to jump over it. And right now, I don't think I can go high enough to jump over it. Or climb up the stairs to get over it, which is pretty annoying. Okay, the fluid buffers are full. Yep, all are full. We're looking good. Everything looks like it's stopped as well. Now we can get rid of this. Don't need it anymore. And let's attach. But there's still something drawing power on the current generators. Let's check and see where that power is coming from. All of these guys are shut down. That can't be it. Are these generators still producing over here, or? Probably not. Nope, everything's turned off. Weird. I'm not sure where the power is being pulled from then. Oh. The screws and the plates are still being produced. That must be where the power is still coming from. Yep. These guys are still working. Let's get rid of this. And now let's connect the water tower to the pipes that are going out to the generators. I use that first regular pipe attachment just to check how far I can go before it says it's too far. Then I know where I can set the stackable pipe support down. We'll also keep a mental note that the bottom pipe is the one that has active water extractors working. We'll keep that as a mental note. Yeah, we got loads of power now. Where to start? Shut this guy off. And this guy. Still got a little bit of power. Now we should have a really big excess in coal. I want to have, like I said, I don't want to have to use the biomass generators. Thus, I need to have all of my supplies ready to go. Something I never did because I didn't need it was upgrade these guys to level 3. And to hurry this process up a little bit and get all the coal into storage, let's go ahead and upgrade all of this stuff. I said it in the last video, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna make the Mark III be my basic level of conveyor belt. Unless, of course, there's something that changes that. If I was watching the Docs Gaming guy, and he was saying how you could assist the balancing of your conveyor belts by slowing them down a bit using a Mark 1 or Mark 2 conveyor belt, and that would help balance them out. I thought that was really smart. I just am not 100% sure yet on how to do that. Okay, like we talked about, that bottom pipe is the one that's active. Now we can close all of this off, get rid of it. All 4 of those can be deleted, all this piping, everything, because it's not connected to anything anymore. We just have the current generators going for continued water use and to build up the coal in this storage container. Let's see how much is in there. Okay, we want a little more in there than that just to be safe. Like I said, let's keep building on the world grid. It'd be crazy to have a gigantic, like, all the mini factories connected together on the world grid. Like, roads and trains all connected together because, or thanks to the world grid. That'd be really cool. Want this right on the edge. Let's kind of split the difference a little bit. Give some room to work in front and in back. The first one's gonna set the baseline. That's why the first one's gotta be exactly what we want, and then the rest will be based off the first one. Now all I need is 2 slots in between the 2 to get this, to make the pipe fit in between there. I'm gonna go a little higher and a little bit further back. As long as it looks good and doesn't clip, that's all I really need. I like it going up because I think it'll help with spacing later with other stuff I'm going to add, and I think it looks better going at that upward angle. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of this. It was such an eyesore, this whole thing, this whole build, with this weird tower on top and everything. It just looked really bad, to be honest. I'm sure a few of you were like, gross. But you gotta just start, you know? You just gotta start somewhere. And like I said, if you guys do decide to make your own builds and post it, tag me in it and we'll check it out. Maybe I'll do a video on it, like I think his name is Total Eclipse, something like that. He did one recently on a really, really insane build that a guy did, which is what I was talking about earlier. That guy's build was crazy. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he was like an architecture major student or something along the lines. It just looked super good, super professional. Okay, we got our 3 water extractors. How do we get it over there? I don't need a T on this first one. If I start this one like and just continue it, these I can add a T and these guys can just attach onto this pipe. Also looking back, I basically blocked off the entire mini lake, which I didn't want to do. Even though we are essentially taking over this world and stealing all of its resources, supposedly to help Earth. Maybe one day we'll find out for sure. I want to try and at least a little bit work around the fauna and allow them to get water here if that's what they want. Some things are inevitable though, like the pipe cutting across an entire field over there. I don't know how we could avoid that, honestly. Alright. Everything is working good. Still full of water, which is what we need. Sweet. Oh, hey, Mr. Elephant Beetle guy. What do you guys think of the new pipe going down the middle of your pasture here? Oh, you don't like it? I guess it makes sense. You know, if you like berries, I would be more than happy to feed these to you, but you don't seem to like berries. Well, hey, if you go around like your friend that's over there, you can get to the other side. Fine. Don't talk to me. I got other stuff to do anyways. Alright. I think that's gonna be enough coal. Shutting these down makes it official, you know. Well, let's get to building, guys. This is a lot of building we're doing. But let's talk about it for a minute. These pillars, I like them, but I don't like them. I like them because they're fairly small and they can be used around, and you know, it works. But they're a bit too big still. I wish there was a thinner pillar, something smaller, more compact. Obviously you can see that I did have to clip the machines, the generators a little bit with their base frame, but I figured this is the best place for that. You know, like, if there has to be a little bit of clipping, I think that is a good spot for it. They are a little bit of an eyesore, but I'm just trying to make it kind of, I guess you'd say, make sense where it would need support, where the upper level would need support, which in my opinion, it's where, you know, right beneath where it's going to sit. This machine, I would assume, is ridiculously heavy, so it needs a lot of support, which is why I put those pillars right beneath where it's gonna be, where the machine is gonna go. As you can see, I ran out of supplies again, so I had to make a quick run for more supplies. The conveyor belts, I think they look pretty good, pretty clean. The pipe looks pretty good, pretty clean. It's just these pillars. I might just do something different in the future, just take them out completely and create some kind of ceiling support looking type thing, and then just have supports on the edges, or maybe every 4 machines or every 2 machines. That way they're not such an eyesore and covering so much of the build. Because like I said, I want to show the pipes, I want to show the conveyor belt, as long as it looks clean. I like the offset, how the generators that are going on top of these generators are forward. I think it makes perfect sense. You know, the stacks, the exhaust stacks are all gonna be in the same place, or, you know, lined up together. And a little bit further down, further in the video, you're gonna see what I think was honestly kind of an accident, but it worked out really well because it lined up. The conveyor belts lined up really well to how, you know, how they work or how they flow. The flow worked out really well. Yeah, I really liked it. I really like this build. The issue that I need to figure out a fix for is how to start the, what's it called? The foundations. That's the word I was looking for. The foundation, how it's just abruptly like bam, floor, or bam, foundation. I don't think that looks good. I think I'm gonna end up, not right now, not in this episode, but in the future, having the foundations start with the angled foundations, the ones that you can walk up easily, not for walking up, just as a start. I think that might look better because it looks very unfinished with the foundations just bam, there it is, foundation. I think it doesn't, I don't like that. I don't like how that looks at all. But yes, this right here is what I was talking about earlier, how the conveyor belt, it lined up perfectly. All I have to do is add the conveyor lift, and it worked out beautifully. set the conveyor lift, attach it to that splitter, and there it is. Boom. It lined up great. So I was very, very happy about that. That was an accident completely, but it worked out. Right here, what I'm checking is that it's just level, that the height is correct. I, just want it to be straight, and that's it. It's just hard to see it from this angle, but I think I figure it out later how to do it more, how to make it so that I can see if it's level or not. I just ended up using one of those towers, and I went up the stairs to the height, and it looked good. It looked level. But this part, again, I think it looks really good. I really like the way that these conveyors and the lifts and the splitters, how they worked out. But the only eyesore at this point is the pillars and the way the foundations just kind of, bam, here we are. the factory has started. Maybe I'll look at some pictures of factories that are built right now in real life. Maybe there will be something that I can see that will give me an idea of what will look good, maybe even safety wise, what works best. Not that we're actually caring about safety in this situation, but it could still be interesting. Putting some railing down, making it look really, really official. Pretending to try to stop fauna from getting into these machines, stuff like that. I realized here that I didn't actually need this extra splitter. I can just make the conveyor belt flow straight into that splitter with the first generator. Yeah, this is when I finally realized if I just go up the stairs and go up the ladder and get level with the conveyor belts, I'll be able to tell that they're straight or not. And it was, so that was really nice. This part was a little annoying because I wanted there to be a support on both ends of the pipes. And because in my opinion it makes sense that there's a support on both ends and not just on the back side of the generator. I wanted there to be a support right here in the front and a support at the back. That way I didn't have to run supports like down the whole back of the factory, because I feel like that would have looked a little more cluttered. So the only way I could figure out to do this is to make it, set down the first part, put the pipe splitter, then set down the second part and reattach it. And it worked out. I think it looks okay that way. And it makes logical sense to me, the way that it's being supported. Getting pretty close at this point to finishing the setup for the 6 coal generators. Unfortunately, the coal produced here is only going to be for the generators. Also, the water can only be for the generators. I think that if I organize the water extractors a little bit better, I should be able to have an extra water extractor used for something else if I need it. But for right now, it works out pretty good. I realized that the alignment here was a bit off as well. and because of that, I'm gonna have to move the pipes over a little. Yes, that will waste a little bit of water, but small price to pay. I really like the multiple different types of pipe builds that you can do. I think that's pretty cool. I tried all of them right here so that they wouldn't clip, but it kept clipping, so just ended up putting another support here. And here I decided to realign everything. So like I said, it'll waste a little bit of water, but I think it's worth it. It makes more sense that the pipes kind of line up directly with where I need it to connect to, rather than that weird direction and then them being offset. Yeah, we got water flow going. Looking good, no pumps, and a ton of flow. Look, the top's filling up too. I really love this. This is kind of what I was talking about in the last video. You just gotta stand back and look at it for a second sometimes. Just like, dang. I really like the symmetry. Like I said, the pillars look a little bit ugly. I need to do something about that. But I think it looks really good. The alignment, all the stacks up at the same place. Get this out of the way. All of the conveyor belts and the lifts being perfectly lined up. I really like this a lot. Now we're going to attach the storage with the conveyor belts so we can start getting coal into the machines, get them all prepped up. Looks good. Okay. When we're about ready to start them, they'll be good. There'll be no issues. They can all start running. Looking back at it now, I do think that I may have made a mistake on some of the inputs, like right at the input, that little angular upwards portion. Some of them might have been set up differently than the others, so I'm gonna have to check those. Well guys, this video has gone on fairly long, so I think we're gonna end it here. There's a lot more stuff to do. I still have to add the power lines and the power cables, but we'll leave that to the next video because we already hit our hour mark, which is about where I want to be at. But we're looking good. Now that we have those big power tower deals, we can start using those, make the land look a little bit less cluttered. We'll add power to all of these guys, add power to the water extractors and everywhere. That'll be on the next video. And we will continue our work. I really need to start adding more machines so we can get to the next phase. We got plenty to do, a lot more designing to do, and I hope that some of you guys upload some videos of your builds, because that would be really cool to see. We can get ideas off of each other's builds and everything. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the episode, leave a like, subscribe. I'd really appreciate that, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again.